Let's explore more about SceDer. SceDer is for designing the learning scenarios to manage learning activities with computers in a real classroom. To describe it clearly, we'll explain how to use SceDer with a sample learning activity. For instance, a teacher aims to teach students about names of countries and their locations in Europe. This lesson consists of a scenario where a teacher asks for students' participations, which can be split into two steps. The first step is a teacher asks all students in the class for the names of the countries showing on a map. The second step is students answer to a teacher by drawing the country names on their devices and moving them to the correct place on the map. How to design this lesson with SceDer. First of all, the teacher has to fill a lesson name and a description of this lesson in the Component Properties panel. For instance, the given name of this sample lesson is Country Names Hunting, and the description is a teacher asks all students in the class for the names of the countries showing on a map. This lesson is for a whole class of students, therefore groups of students in this lesson will be set as none. The first step, a teacher asks the students for the names of countries and shows the map on the screen. How do we design this? First, we need to tell the SceDer program that the teacher will deliver a question to the students relating to an electronic resource. For example, we have a map here, which is shown in the shared display area. So, drag a teacher icon from the Actors panel and drop it onto the first row, which is step 1 in the Deliver column. Drag a question icon from the Activities panel and drop onto the What to Do column. On the Component Properties panel, fill the question, what are the names of these countries, in the question topic. Note area under the question topic is for any other details, or in case a teacher may want to make a note to remind what to do on this question. All text here will not be displayed to students. It will only be shown on the teacher's control and monitor panel, and this also applies to any activities icons placed on the What to Do column. Drag a student's icon from the Activities panel and drop onto the Receiver column. Drag a picture icon from the Prepared Resources panel and drop onto the Electronic Resource column. In the Component Property panel, click Browse to select the map file that you have already prepared, then click Open. Drag a board icon from the Presentation Space panel and drop it onto the Presentation Space column. Notice that in the Component Properties panel, this prepared map file is shown on a shared working space named 1. This is a working space that every student can see. One lesson may consist of one or more scenarios. One scenario may consist of one or more working spaces. In Group Scribbles, we call this working space a board. Another type of presentation space is a groups space. This is for any scenarios that relate to groups of students, where any property displayed on each group space is only displayed and accessed by that particular group of students. Now we are going to the second step. Students answer to a teacher by drawing the country names on their devices and putting the answers on a working space. Drag a student's icon from the Actors panel and drop onto the second row, or step 2, in the Deliver column. Drag an answer icon from the Activities panel and drop onto the What to Do column. For the property of answer, the teacher may fill Answer the question in step 1 to show as the activity name. Drag a teacher icon from the Actors panel and drop onto the Receiver column. Drag a drawing icon from the In-Class Resources panel and drop onto the Electronic Resource. Drag a board icon from the Presentation Space panel and drop onto the Presentation Space column. This step, students will answer to the teacher on the same working space where the map is shown. Hence we fill 1 here. The general meaning of each row in a diagram can be interpreted as follows. One or more actors deliver an activity to other actors with or without an electronic resource on a presentation space. Here we've finished the design. Click Save to save as a COML package, which includes the prepared pictures onto your local drive. Here is a sample of how to use SceDer. Normally, teachers would produce this scenario in SceDer before the class as a dynamic lesson plan.